that I wouldn't be reaching across while
Hello, welcome to Let's Sip Tea.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are your hosts in Let's Sip Tea. Myself, Honey Jai, Chrissy, Nicole. On the phone, we have Fancy Red and Smitty. Our topic today will be about domestic violence, the different kinds, the awareness, and a man's perspective. We'll start with the different kinds. And so with the different kinds, we have our physical, emotional, verbal, which is a huge one, and physical. Let's just stay with physical. But we're going to touch mostly on different people's stories, different people's backgrounds, and some of our own. With that being said, I'll go ahead and jump straight to the phone with Miss Fancy Red. How are you out there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Hey, I'm fantastic.
All right, Smitty. Wonderful. As you heard, nice. As you heard what our topic is, do you have any personal history or someone dear that you may have lost in it? It doesn't matter. Either one of you guys that's on the phone, you can just jump on in.
Personally, I have dealt with it a little. It was, it was never an ongoing situation. So it's kind of like I don't know, like the hurt and the almost losing your life portion of it. To me, that was something I just had to deal with, step away from, and heal from. I don't know anybody that has lost their life. I have met a few people that have gone through it. It's different. It affects everybody different. So, I can't really chime in, too deeply on that.
So which portion did you partake in? If it wasn't physical, was it emotional, or was it
mental?
Which
physical.
portion?
Physical. Yeah, it was physical.
So in that instance, what happened? Like in that...
Basically, in that instance, the person I was dating decided that it was in his best interest to put his hands on me, and I actually ended up fighting back. And he started keeping his hands to himself. But I still ended up getting out of that situation. It didn't last.
Okay.
So what makes you think, how did it come about? Like, was there like any signs where he was going to be aggressive in that aspect, or how did it actually start arrive where he thought he can put his hands on you?
Actually, there was never any signs.
Okay.
We got along okay, and then once we started arguing, the more we argued, that's when he decided, okay, yeah, I'm going to start doing stuff to you. I'm going to start. And it actually started as pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to slapping. Well, by the time it got to that, that's when I started fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you have anyone that you could talk to about it, or just something as an instinct, automatically, okay, the slapping I'm not taking, it's time to fight back, or is it someone...
I just knew all that was wrong. I knew all that was wrong. You keep your hands to yourself.
Right. Wow. And for those who just tuning in, we're talking about domestic violence since it is October, the awareness month. And we were just speaking to Fancy Red about her situation and if she saw, any types of signs that this was going to come on. And with that, I want to say I thank you for being transparent. I think probably the hardest thing to be is transparent. So with that being said, let me get my piece of transparency out. I'll start with someone near and dear to me. A long time ago, one of my favorite cousins was in a domestic violence situation, and she was a runner, so nobody really knew what was going on. She'll just show up, and of course, that was always the fun times because she showed up. And then one time she showed up and she had a black eye. Another time she showed up, she had a missing tooth. So of course, by that time, she had to explain to her auntie, which was my mom, what's going on. And she told my mom everything, what was going on or whatever. And it went on for so long, just kept going on. And because he was in, the area of business that he was in, and I don't want to put his name out there, and I won't put my cousin's name out there. It just, she just didn't tell nobody. She just told my mother, which I thought was really heart wrenching. Now, remind you that my cousin is one of them strong women who just got it made. Her life, you could see that she was strong and that her strength was what I look up to because of the simple fact she's my older cousin. I don't have too many cousins in my age group that is female. And with that being said, he didn't take her life. Pretty much, she took her own. She went from the strongest woman in the world to the weakest woman in the world. And she just kind of checked herself out. She didn't know how to stay afloat. And I don't know if it was because she felt like someone would be talking about her or we would look at her different because she stayed a little longer. I'm not for sure. And that's something that we will never get the answer to. But still to this day, I believe that she's like one of the strongest women that I know because she held on so long because she just wanted her family to stay together. And I know that there's probably a lot of people who go through that don't know how to get out of the situation and go through what they go through. Physically, she was being abused. But in the long run, I believe with everything going on, she emotionally checked out. And when she checked out, I think that was the hardest thing for me to hear that my cousin was deceased. And like I said, she was like the closest person to me. So her domesticated issue may not have been her killer, but it was what drove her to just stop caring, stop pushing, stop being who she was, which was a strong Black woman, just strong, like strength of a soldier. And that was removed from her and she didn't know how to bounce back. And that's a hurtful thing. And I think that's one of the reasons why we really want to just start talking about it, because when you get to that point, somebody, you got to find somebody that you can talk to. And if there is no one, just go to a church, talk to someone. Because when you're a runner, like she was, I don't even think she sat down long enough to have a church home to go to or a pastor to talk to, because she just felt like that individual had so much influence that she didn't know her own out. And I can't say that if that was me, what I would have done, because at that time, I think we're like 15 years apart. So I wouldn't have those answers being 15 years younger than my cousin. With that being said,
I really don't think anybody would have an answer for that situation because it's for each individual of how they're going to cope and deal with it. And at that present time, being in it, at that time, their mind is already, that person mentally, they got to them. And the physical wound's going to heal. I heard that so many times, physical wounds heal, but that mental state stays there because mentally they already got to that mind when they actually start abusing them on that end. So we wouldn't have an answer. It would have to take them to have that, like I said, the backup point, a piece of it. They know they can confide in somebody, be like, okay, I have you. I can help you if you want this help. But it's still going to be to them to make up their mind on the aspect to let it go. Sometimes it's hard for people to let it go. And all you have to do on our end of it, you have to pray for them. You have to be there in prayer. We don't have an answer. We never will have a solution. We're not going to have that answer for them because it's a mental thing that's going to be gone. Mr. Smitty.
Yes.
So I don't know if you have any friends that has been abused. Any male friends have been abused or are abusive. If you have seen any of those things, and what point of view have you from the male side that we want to get from you?
Yeah, I know a lot of women that's been abused. I ain't never understood why they stayed.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never understood that part. I mean, I know human psychology understands pain and pleasure.
Right.
If somebody hits you, then that's not pleasurable. So I ain't never understood why folks stay. I'm still puzzled as to how that happened. Yes, I have some abusive friends. I've gotten into it with them because, in front of me, you can't hit your own lady, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you do while I'm gone, that's between you and her, but I ain't never condoned it.
So you think it's just something that happens in the household that they see, they grew up in?
Well, I can speak about two of them. Two of them hit their women because they can't keep up with their mind. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But what I will say from women, though, women are very disrespectful and loose-lipped.
Mm-hmm.
And they expect nothing to be done about the consequences that come out their mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that is absurd to me, especially when a woman calls herself intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do nothing to anyone in this world and not expect something to happen. I'm not saying that hitting a woman is correct, but you got to understand the reality of the situation. If you're being disrespectful, somebody's going to do something about their respect. Everybody's not going to let that slide, and everybody don't know how to handle that verbally. So you got to take that in consideration when you call yourself being fly as a woman, or you going to take it upon yourself to cuss a man out. Yes, you got a right to voice your opinion and say what you want to say, but however, just like with kids, if they speak back to you or talk back to you in disrespectful tone, you're gonna do something as a parent. That's the same thing with a grown person.
I have a question for you.
If you're disrespectful, then
Well, I have
9 times out of 10 they're gonna do you something.
I have a question. You say loose lips.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to understand that because if two grown individuals,
Okay, loose lip means anything that's disrespectful.
what is your term? Okay, can you give me a situation or maybe an example of disrespect? Because I'm a little cloudy, a little confused because I don't see
on what point?
when you said consequences. Okay, I do believe that there are consequences for everything. And sometimes we can be bit mouthy. We can be a bit mouthy, but never to a point to where someone feels they can muff, push, shove, or even hit you. My thought pattern.
You're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. Disrespect is disrespect, period. Again, I'm not saying I'm condoning what a man does when he's disrespected by his woman. But if you call a man out of his name, you're being disrespectful.
Okay. Thank you for going into that a little bit more.
So pretty much like when women put themselves in that man situation where it should be two men battling each other and that woman jumps in that battle, it's not your battle. It's actually two. It's supposed to be men against men and not that woman against that man battle. Is that what you're trying to say?
True.
Okay.
I'm just thinking man versus woman in a household. We can be in a household.
Right.
The fact of disrespect, it's only two reasons why a man gonna get out of character. One, if he can't keep up with a woman verbally, he gonna strike her to try to keep her quiet.
There you go.
Two, he gonna get out of character for disrespecting him. I don't care what man he is. You not gonna disrespect a man and he not gonna do nothing.
Right.
Even if he's a soft-hearted man, he gonna get you back some kind of way.
Yeah,
that's true.
or walk away.
Without being disrespectful.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
women never look at that. They always want to look at the fact that he hit me, or he choked me, or he did something. It was something done before that man took that course of action. But we never look at that part because a woman did this X, Y, Z, she not supposed to be touched. Well, I don't totally agree with that.
I do. I agree. Should not touch me, but okay.
I understand where you're coming from.
And a man feel like if you intelligent or you call yourself an intelligent woman, you ought to be able to conform your conversation.
Intelligent.
Well,
If you can't, then here's the result of it.
and I think that's the key right
Those
there.
women that can don't get touched.
Right. I think that's the key right there is a lack of knowing how to communicate on both levels. Because I'm with you.
Because men typically don't want to talk. So
Right.
what's that conversation start with?
Right. But here's what I'm saying. I'm with you. If you listen to what I'm saying to you. I feel what you're saying because I've seen the fly ass mouth woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have seen that. You asking for somebody to reach out and touch you. When you, as you said, disrespecting, you got to give it to get it. And if I'm just going all in, and again, I'm with you as a woman, don't put your hands on me, but see, I'm not going to talk to you in that way.
Right.
I'm going to talk to you like an adult. I expect you to talk to me like an adult. I get that men say 100 words to a woman's 1,000 words.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? But I feel what you're saying because there are some women are women only by gender.
Right.
Just like men are men only by gender.
Correct.
And so I feel like the fly mouth woman ain't that woman.
Right.
She being a girl. When she's failing to know how to communicate properly and get her point across and knowing when to hush, because sometimes it's a time for all things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a time to speak and it's a time to be quiet and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, so like you said, so I mean, we're not saying it's right, but everybody has their limit. Yes, God put man as the head, but when you can push anybody too far. So,
Right.
you know, if that woman, like you said,
But
just
I mean, some men don't even have to be pushed. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what women don't. Well, what the first thing is, women don't take enough time to understand who they're dealing with.
Right.
That's correct.
That's
Yeah.
number one.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
The second mistake is, I'm telling you, if a man can't communicate verbally, he's touching your ass within the first 5 to 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because he wants you to hush and leave
Yeah.
him alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he can't keep up with your mind.
Right.
True. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But women don't listen when a man tell you the first time, say, go on, daddy.
Right.
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 I mean, or at
You want to
least.
start calling him punks, this, that, and the
Yeah.
other, and all this other.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you done
Okay.
change the whole dynamic
Yeah,
of the
Okay.
conversation.
Okay.
You done challenge him.
Okay.
And you know that B word get him real riled
Or
up.
that P word. I can't
Yeah.
stand the P word.
Yeah.
Now that word
Yeah.
is disgusting.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. I hear you.
So it's all predicated, unless a man walk in the house or walk in your presence and not far from you, I'm not going to necessarily just say he in the wrong because 9 times out of 10, a woman started and instigated that whole ordeal before it got started. With that mouth time.
Or if you just had
Never run
that.
cases where a man has
Yeah.
just walked in, 9 times out of 10, if he did that, he high drunk.
That, yeah.
Just a sober man that's just mad. First of all, if he's mad, he don't even want to be bothered.
Right.
Right.
And if you know your dude, when you see his face and his
Oh, yeah, that is true. When you see the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, I hate to cut you off, Smitty. Give me 1 second.
We do have a commercial coming up. We're gonna.
You do.
I forgot about a commercial. That's good.
So, Quad Consulting Services. Any marketing, financial, any needs, make sure you give them a call. Telephone number is
682-208-0020. We are their one-stop shop.
also you can pick up straight t-shirt from your girlie who made t-shirts for Quad. And shout out to LaDonna Mosley for the Let's Sip Tea.
And we got them.
And with that being said, we're back to you, Mr. Smitty. I do understand what you're saying now, because at first it was just saying like you don't condone it, but you do condone it, but you don't condone it, and I was kind of lost. So, you know.
Well, I mean, now let me clarify for me.
Okay.
Now, you touch me as a woman, I'm touching you back.
Oh, that's correct.
I'll get you in yours. Don't
And
put your hands on me.
I feel
Right,
that. I feel that from my brother too.
It's not anything, for me, it's not anything a woman can do to make me mad enough to strike her. You see what I'm saying?
That is correct.
And I'm going to let every woman that I deal with know this in the beginning. You hit me, I'm not turning no cheek.
Right.
Because you ain't got to put your hands on me. Because I can keep up with a woman's mouth. I hurt your feelings with my mouth. I ain't tripping. But you touch me, I'm going to touch you back. And I'm not running. You can call the police. I'm not tripping.
What
I
they
got 350 to get out. You know what I'm saying?
what they don't understand is that women go to jail too.
Right.
Women go to jail too.
Nowadays they do.
And you
That's
can
what they do.
and
But before
you can be removed.
Before it was all the men.
And then he trying to run. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in
I'm
19
running. I'm going to hit you right back.
in '98, I was the aggressor of a conversation, and I was escorted out of my own apartment. So it happened. They came for me.
Yeah, if you strike a man nowadays, you can go to jail too.
Right.
That's correct.
If a man, if he a grown man or he call himself a G, he not calling the police. You know
That's
what I'm
correct.
saying?
Right.
That's not what we do as grown men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about?
So why is
He
that?
gonna call the police every time on a grown man, whether he stop striking her or whatever. She's still gonna be the one to call the police.
Why that man don't call the police, Mr. Smitty? Why wouldn't they call the police? Why wouldn't a man call the police if she strike him?
If she ain't got no weapon, man, you say you broad, you call the police. Dog.
But that's what y'all think, though, right?
Exactly. Like
That's what y'all think.
You know-
but it's still, hey, she's still in the wrong.
you will teach her a valuable lesson. Trust and believe.
You teach her a valuable lesson, but now telling out of 10, now you stupid though, because see, now you gotta go get the city your money to get your same girl out that you ain't finna leave.
That's true. I'm with you, though.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for elaborating. I like that. Thank you so much. Keep that question mark out of my mouth.
It gotta make sense.
Yeah.
It
gotta make
does.
sense though. You know what I'm saying?
It does. It really do.
I mean, I done seen people in that situation. I was young, and I done seen it, a lot where the person that you know is strong, and then it happened to them, and you be like, wonder how it could happen to that person. But it is the mental side of it. That person, and they play on your sympathy. And we're gonna talk about the ones that the con artist side of it, because they will play on that person's sympathy, their kindness, and they play on it all the time. But they all along.
I really, you know what? I don't want to cut you off, but I don't really think it's playing on it. Because if you don't have no gold or no red card that say MHMR on the left-hand corner, that means you understood what was going on.
Well, no, that's not true, because some people never have been involved in it.
No, you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that.
No.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me you don't understand what's going on.
No, because you got people that will play on people's emotions. They play on their sympathy
That is
for
correct.
a long time, and
That
then
is correct.
finally, when it actually happens, it's a shock
You know what
factor.
was going on, though. You can't tell me you didn't know what was going on, though.
No, some people don't. Some people don't.
So the hoe on the street that's getting pimped. I mean, that's a mental.
She chose to do that.
No, it's a mental.
No.
It's mental.
No.
Sometimes you have to
You
understand.
have people that can control.
Exactly, and
They
some
know how to
people
control
they have
things.
the art of
Yeah.
that game, that verbal game. That's an art, and some people can use that art to manipulate and get what they want, what they need, what they think they need. That's what they do. And the one thing I never
We're not talking
forget.
about is it plausible. We're not saying it's not plausible. I'm saying anybody that is not fully retarded makes a conscious decision to do whatever it is they want to do in life.
That is correct.
That's true.
It's a good decision, but they make a conscious decision to do that. So if you make a conscious decision, then that's your choice. You know what's going on.
That's not always
If
true.
you said to get away from her, if you said to get away from a situation, that's a totally different conversation. But you made a conscious decision to be here because now we talking about pimping. Ain't now pimp gonna sit there and watch none of his own on the street. That ain't what they do. They come back and check on them. So that means you got ample time to free yourself from the situation. You chose not to.
But it's still a mental factor because I already done got in your head. Nobody wants you.
That is correct.
Nobody needs you. I'm
you.
your person. I'm your family.
I'm going to take care of
and
you.
so I slap you around a little bit, put you out there on that street. Then what?
Yeah, but you harboring on the end result. You harboring on the end result. You're not starting with the cause of it though.
Those are the ones that don't have.
That some of those causes come from broken homes, from little girls who's getting beaten or molested by their people, their parent or whomever, uncles. They have nothing else. And then here you come along, not you.
Situations come, and some of those same situations come with everybody that's put with everything to succeed.
That's not always the resource, though. Everybody don't have the resource. Everybody don't know what resource to use.
That is correct. That is so correct.
Okay, you got people with money and smarts that don't use the correct resources, and they know what to use. So
but they know. See, that's the difference. They know. We talk about the ones that don't know the resource, don't know how to get to the resources, never identify what resources to use. You have people out there that never been. They never have been shown nothing.
They made a conscious decision. If you make a conscious decision to stand on a corner and mess with 4-5 Johns in an 8 to 10 hour block, you made a choice.
You sound like Kanye. Leave him alone.
I mean, everybody got a choice.
It's not like nobody
but
you no chain and told you gotta do this. You know what I'm saying?
No. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. No. Coming from the background of seeing and been there. No. That if the pimp on that street, if his hoe out there ain't making no money, she gets slapped around. She already got mentally put out there. Cause he gonna make sure his hoe doing what she's supposed to be doing. He gonna make sure he the daddy to this hoe. So she gonna feel like, oh, he my protector, but I'm scared to go against and defy him because he already got her in this state of being scared. So you can't say just because it's a choice. Everybody have a choice, but it's hard for people to make that decision to get out of certain things in certain situations if you don't have that family to help you along.
That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation from where you came to get into that situation, though. You never had to be in that situation.
You don't know. Those people that been out on the street runaways, they probably already there. Just didn't have no money. And here come this person to pull them up. I can get you this. I can do this for you.
I can put clothes on your back. You can. Here's a hot meal.
And they do that all the time.
I see it all the time. These young ladies.
Even if they show you the world and say you can have this bag of gold coins, you gonna make a choice to take whatever it is they show.
Well, I'm gonna put you out there and we're gonna see what choice you gonna make.
That's a sophisticated side, baby.
We're gonna see what all choices out there. When you know somebody you see on that street.
Mm.
It's still a choice. I don't even know how you put it.
I get it. It's a choice.
It's a choice to do anything that you do.
It is a choice. But sometimes you feel like you don't have that choice. Your back is against the wall.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay.
Stop right there. Whose fault is that? Yours or the man? Yours or the pimp?
You know what? Now I'm gonna jump off a pimp.
See, now you want to try to justify.
No,
because I have never been in that situation. We use that just as a.
I just asked you about what you stated, though.
I said if her back is against the wall. Yeah, if her back is against the wall and she don't have nothing else and nowhere else to go.
You trying to justify it.
I'm not justifying. I'm speaking on what I've seen.
They gotta have no stipulation on it. I'm asking you, did she make a conscious choice?
She made a choice with no other choice.
So whose fault is that? That she made a wrong choice.
There is no fault.
I don't see fault.
There is no fault.
There
is no fault. There is no fault.
Bad situation. Wait.
Let's pause. fault.
in a bad situation, but it ain't no fault.
But I'm looking at this in different aspects. I'm looking at this as the 16-year-old who ran away because she got tired of being physically and mentally abused and don't know nothing but that. I'm looking at the 21-year-old who's been getting her head beat in and out and don't know nothing else but that. I'm looking at those situations. I'm not looking at anybody who can possibly decide that they're 38 years old and decide they want to be a hoe. I'm not talking in that. I'm
speaking my damn self.
Exactly, and make more money while you playing. Okay, I can show you what $14.95 look like, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm speaking for these 16-year-olds who haven't gotten their mindset correctly yet. Yes, they made a choice, but was it the good choice? No, because they had a choice, they didn't have a choice. That's what I'm telling you. The choice was theirs, but they didn't have a choice. Next, we talk about the 18-year-old who didn't graduate from high school, don't know nothing but being hit, pushed to the side, and being left and being told that she ugly and stupid. Guess what? They fall into that trap. They become what? A part of that society. And guess what that man becomes to them? Daddy. Let's not make it seem like it's these women's fault just because someone has a gift of gab. We not going to do that. Not today.
If she's not mentally retarded, she knows the difference between right and wrong. It's simple as that.
Everybody don't know what's right and what's wrong.
I know a 17-year-old right now that's a $500,000 rich. So your brain is developed at 16 to 17 to know what to do and what not to do.
Depending on your product of your environment, no. Depending on your environment, no. If all you know is being verbally abused by your mother, beaten up by mama's boyfriend, pushed up against the wall by uncle.
You're a drug baby.
I mean, they drug them.
Exactly.
Age 12.
Huh?
He lived on the street till he was 14.
Okay.
And now his boy got paper.
Yeah, but what he had to do when he was on the streets when he was 14?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, how many dicks he sucked?
Really, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of them backgrounds ain't too squeaky clean. They got some prostitution in men
How
too.
much y'all when
So
he begging
let's
like
not.
from 12 to 14?
It is
Let's just
prostitution.
get real with it. I mean,
$1 is $1.
that look like Mr. Brown. Come on.
Real talk.
Lipstick on thick. Ain't shit. Come on, motherfucking choice.
Right.
What's happening?
Okay. Ooh, okay. Yes. Okay.
So y'all big now?
We was all in.
Never left. Never left because the debate is wonderful. Yeah. I love a great debate.
That's what we got here for.
I love a great debate.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I'm talking about the debate part. Some of that in there we didn't quite catch. So I don't know what y'all said.
Okay, well, I do believe that he heard everything we said because he had a shot for everything.
The last part. That last little bit, no, because he said he was still talking.
We can only speak for ourselves, correct?
Neither one of us understood that.
Because we all have a choice, correct?
No, I'm always got a choice.
Yeah.
So we all got a choice, correct?
Yeah.
So,
but I was my upbringing gave me those choices.
exactly.
Made me understand.
That is correct.
Choices.
That the good and the bad, and sometimes these choices will be ugly. And then you have to understand the consequences of this ugly choice. And then after you get past that, because reminding you, we do speak. We do think a lot. This is women, period. That's all we do. We in our sleep thinking about what we gonna cook tomorrow or what we gonna wear if you hadn't even put all your clothes out for the next day. That's just what women do. So in this situation, yes, these choices that some are making may not be the well choice that you believe that is not correct, but some make these choices out of survival skills. Some make these choices out of being better moms. Some make these choices just so they can get the heck away. So with that being said, choices are choices. And I say that
I don't choose to get my ass whooped.
I'm not letting you hit me. I promise you.
That ain't a choice.
I'm real.
I choose to shoot.
with the straight license to carry.
Center mass.
Okay.
Headshot.
Okay.
With the hand saying I didn't try.
As you stated, Smitty, a woman put her hands on you, you gonna hit back. I'm gonna shoot. I'll run you over with the car. I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
But done that.
Yeah.
A couple of
Whatever
times.
it
I
takes.
can't stand toe to toe with you.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna try to come
No,
up.
I'm not even going to swing at you because the way our body makeup is, our body makes up is automatic. Like even if you just go back, just go. Let's take it all the way back. When you go to the pyramids, okay, those young men, their testicles was removed. Bow y'all to make them stronger so that they can make that pyramid. You think I'm gonna go up against that? You got two nuts now. I'm not gonna let you hit me. No.
Now you have no nuts.
And in the strength of a bull, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to hit you.
Together.
A lot of us were told,
to me,
if you hit, you
it's
hit
due
back.
unto others.
Hold on. This is for all women on this panel. So why do y'all get so fly if y'all know y'all can't whoop a dude? Why do y'all try to buck a man?
I don't buck a
I
man.
don't buck a
Because
man.
I'm a woman, so I don't.
I don't understand. Put it in a situation and I can answer
Well, you
that
don't know
better.
me, so I know who you do know, but you don't know me.
He knows
And
me.
so-
He just don't know he knows me.
Yeah, therefore, I mean, because I'm gonna treat you like the way I want to be treated.
Correct.
And if you're not treating me the way I want to be treated, or I think I deserve, then I'm walking away from that.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm too grown for that kind of stupid crap. To me, that's just dumb, and we wasting each other's time.
Real
to
talk.
just go round and round in a circle.
And time is not what we
I don't
have.
understand why a person stay when they get struck. I don't understand that.
But we're telling you mentally, people can have a hold of you in a way that
They take their
I'm
mind.
saying that. They take their mind, man.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, everybody just
I'm gonna put
not
it like this.
strong-minded
I'm gonna
enough to walk
I'm gonna
away.
tell you. Okay, listen to this. Reason people who have never ever seen this ever happen even in their own household and never been involved in nothing of that situation, and they going out green into the world because none of this had never happened to them.
Yeah,
and then
correct.
once it happened to them, then it become why? What in the world?
Stunned.
Because it didn't immediately start.
It just didn't immediately
Yes,
start.
it happened. If it started emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
If a person not far from you, you can't tell me that shit didn't hurt. It's time to go.
but first, this is the thing. So that's my question. So I'm trying to get this because I'm on a good debate.
He ain't never.
Okay, so my point that I'm coming from is that this man done did something before this strike. I mean,
I don't know that.
There's some verbal and some mental things going on. And maybe she was verbally abusive and he got tired and maybe he hit and that was his form of dealing with the verbal abuse. I don't know. But at this point, buck, I mean, your choices of words are so chauvinistic to me. And I gotta say that. Buck, what is buck? I mean, if we're having a whole argument, it's just pick it about money. I'm a spender, choose that. And I just spent too much. And you was like, look, god dang, we're trying to save for XYZ. You're not doing this and this and this. How are we going to pull this off, baby, if you just keep on shopping? You mean to tell me you just going to walk straight up in the room and pow because I spent too much money?
Shit, how many times have I talked to you about
Oh my God, I can't. First of all, you got to understand that women aren't your children. That women aren't your children.
Huh?
Women aren't your children. I don't care. I've had this conversation with let's say 5 times we done had it. But hey, my choice of spending went down. I went from spending $1,000 to like $200. Regardless of.
See, you need to be smart like me. Shit, I'll call and cut the card off. Your ass will be embarrassed.
Okay, sound like a plan.
We'll stop that.
That sounds like a plan. But what I said was somewhere in there, we should be able to pick out when we're going to start because verbally we're going to get it. We already know. How much sting can you take is what I'm trying to understand. Because I've been through my sting. And I knew how much sting I was going to take. And I knew when enough was enough. And when I finally realized that enough was enough, And two and two had to be put together because you really don't know when you're being mentally or verbally abused. Because people ain't got to call you a cocksucker, or they don't have to call you a B or a P in order for you to be verbally abused. It can be something.
They got a good vocabulary. I'm talking about you because you out and won't use now cuss word. I'll let you figure it out.
That's probably the females that you deal with. I won't
I mean,
even.
and they've been verbally abused by you. With good vocabulary.
You want to call her a harlequin and she put her makeup on and she don't even know you called her a clown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I get that. Okay?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I call a motherfucker street stopper, got that shit to try to figure it out.
See? See?
Right?
What's wrong?
You like
A
it.
street what? A street stopper. It ain't nothing but a hoe.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was, so thank you for the elaboration.
But I mean,
Awesome.
that's why I said we can't talk for people because it is a mental thing. And
That is correct.
like I said, I done seen it.
Yeah. I've seen, one of my homeboys, I've seen the female, like what you're saying, just abusive with her mouth verbally. He kept staying. You're saying you don't get that, and I've seen her slapping and all like that. It took a minute before he walked away, but I think that's also, he was trying to make this work. This is a woman he was in love with. They were married. It's a whole lot of things tied into his situation that, for me, heck, I didn't love that hoe. So I'm like, leave her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's easy for us to say
It's
leave.
easy to say
Correct.
leave when you
It
don't
is.
have nothing invested in that, and that's not the case with everybody, but
It's not.
I'm speaking for my homeboy. I saw that and I was just like, dude, leave the hoe, and nobody deserves that. But
Correct.
he stayed a lot longer than what a lot of us thought he should have. He eventually walked away, but
You have a lot of jealous hearted people.
More times than not. He probably did stay long. And women do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that women don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But my thing is, I understand pain and pleasure. If
You just don't
I'm
understand
a
why.
man and I love you and I like you, you're not going to strike me and cause me no pain.
Right.
No.
Yeah, everybody's different though. Everybody's not built the same. Everybody's not going to be the same.
Yeah, that's
so
correct.
yeah, you strike me. My reaction, I'm gonna strike your ass back.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I done seen 15 minutes seem like it's 2 hours in a whole fight.
Yeah.
But everybody, what they endure is gonna be totally different from
That is correct.
So a lot of people, they take a lot.
Yeah.
And we done seen people that had jealous hearted relationships where that man, even if they left that man still stalked them
Yeah.
and killed them. They done got beat,
real.
stalked, and killed.
Correct.
So-
Did they ask
And
for
they
that?
did walk away.
Did they ask for that? No. They made a choice. They left.
Same situation.
No.
They tried to leave.
Tried. They left.
Tried to leave.
No, they left. Their choice was to leave.
Yeah, so
But that man made a choice to come back. That man made a choice to follow that individual.
Okay, now the situation switched from the woman to the dude. That's just a hard ass dude.
We understand that.
Okay,
But
Let's just keep it real. A lot of this is whole ass dude.
This woman,
A lot of it is.
She was supposed to do though. She tried to get out the situation.
Not tried, succeeded.
But
He
it
made
took
a
her a
choice.
long time to try though. She got out of it. It took a while for her to get out. But when she did get out, it cost her life.
Because guess
So
what?
he actually killed her.
We have to realize when is enough, and everybody enough button is not the same.
Yeah.
Everybody enough button is not the same. And I'm just gonna keep it honest. Certain things like you said, the investment, being in a home together, children, cars and businesses, those are investments. Hard to get untied, hard to move away quickly from. Because guess what? Even if you why? Because even when you separate, no,
But that's what people
understand.
They're
When a woman walks away from a home, that's a lot. She's tired. But do anybody care where she goes from there? What if she don't have anywhere else to go? And then you got to get a divorce from the situation. Then you got to get a divorce from the situation. And then there's something else. Excuse me?
Do you care where the man go?
You know what? I have. I sure have. In every situation.
How you just gonna take for granted that the dude don't care about where she goes? Just because the man don't want to be with a woman no more don't mean
That's not what I said. That is nowhere close to what I
I
said.
know it, but that's what you implied.
No, it's not.
Does he care about where
No.
she goes? You just said
Sometimes you have ties, what I said. And I said sometimes it's hard because the state of Texas, that's what the great state we're in, those ties cost a lot.
And I quote,
You didn't let me finish when I said, where does she go? Exactly. Where does she go? Where does she go from there? So now her choice is, do I have family here? Do I have family here? Okay, let's say she don't have family here. Where does she go from there? And also, I've known a lot
if you was abusive and I walked away, I don't give a fuck where he is. He could be in the ditch somewhere. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie about me. You know,
I have hit someone with my car and not even look back to see if they were okay. So just keep it real, because I don't like for someone to verbally go there with me. When someone verbally goes there, like, I understand the sting can be the sting, but sometimes that sting is so detrimental because some people go through more than what we actually think.
so have you ever been in love,
Right.
Mr. Smitty?
Huh?
Have you ever been in love?
Yep.
How deep in love? Because there's a difference between loving a person and being actually truly in love. Did you love that person or was you really in love?
Or were you infatuated? Shit, keep it real.
I still love her today. I wouldn't fuck with her, but I still love her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is my thing about love. If I love somebody, I'm gonna love them till the Lord cut my lights out. I ain't gonna never tell a motherfucker I love them and I don't love them. You know what I'm saying? I don't play like that.
Right.
I don't even mention that shit. I let a motherfucker have a whole conversation about a relationship and all they ever got to me is,
Oh, you want to deal? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you something, that's just like right now. We ain't even looking at each other. If me and you got into it and I told you I'm gonna slap you, just know on fight. When I see you, that's what I'm gonna do. That's me.
Note to self, I'm fighting back like because I don't play them games at all. One thing I don't do. Exactly. There you go. That's what I'm just gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna do something to you, and I'm just not gonna do that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm not even gonna be on the phone and say, well, next time I see you, I'm gonna slap you. I ain't gonna even be that girl. I'll be the one when I do see you, I'll be like, you know, we was talking about XYZ. In my head, I said I was gonna knock the shit out of you.
I ain't gonna talk about it. Shit,
I'm her.
It's a little different with dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different with dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I know me. Because I know when I get into it, I'm going to jail. I already know that.
Well, leave your wallet so somebody can get your ass
I
down.
just feel like where
I'm
your mom
going to
going
the
to
grave because somebody's going. Yeah, because somebody's going to have to go to the
When I
grave.
get mad, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
So, you know, I already know I'm prepared for that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like to get mad. That's why I smile and shake my head majority of the time. Because folks really don't understand the gist of what they be doing on the cool or what they say.
Right.
But again, it ain't a woman that got to talk to me. I'm going to piss you off when y'all get mad. I promise you I am.
I don't think you gonna piss nobody off.
Yeah.
I ain't met a woman that can keep up yet. My mama did. I'm just saying. I ain't met one yet to this day.
But see, to me, that's ignorance if she tried to keep up, because it's that talking is cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So
But that's what y'all do. Though.
Why
That's
keep
what
talking?
y'all women good at. That's how y'all heard me.
That's what
how
some
y'all-
women
that's
are.
what
That's
some
some
women-
women.
that's
I
some
think
women.
that's what the
And
biggest
that's what
thing
I'm
is.
saying.
It's a whole
Yeah.
lump. It's like a big
Yeah.
bucket, and
Don't
you just throw all of us
generalize.
in the bucket.
Well,
And if
put
that's
them
the
in the
case,
Yeah.
if I put you in a bucket like it's narcissistic, I mean,
Yeah.
I can put a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Don't lump all the women in there. There's a lot of women they may be that, you know, verbally just shut the up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get that, but at the same token, we're talking about domestic violence, and we're talking about something that people really do not like talking about because of the simple fact it's so touchy, and because certain things could trigger something to trigger something, you know. And honestly, just being, let's even just keep it real. That's one of the reasons why we did what we did. We put out a fundraiser because there's so many shelters out there, and the intake process, a lot of people can't get in. Or if it's at midnight when they're running, they can't get in. Like literally, you have no one. These 1-800 numbers, okay, 1-800, but guess what? If I'm on the run, I'm gonna need you to open them doors for real. And so that's one of the reasons why we did a fundraiser, is because if you can't get in there, we want to at least put you in a room until the intake process is done. That's certain things that people don't have out there. Or how about the good one, the silent killer, the one that people don't even understand the most? That's that mental abuse where someone has taken your mind and you're gone. You just gone. Like these are things that you say it's a choice. And no, you're not going to have an MHMR on the side of your doggone card, and it ain't going to be green or yellow or whatever color it's supposed to be. But someone really can strip you of that type of mentally dig off into you and just, if it was a heart, reach out, take it, cut it in half, and put that vagina back in backwards. You know what I'm saying? These are real life situations. And I get what you're saying. Some things you feel like, okay, she deserved to be popped because she was wrong. Okay. And sometimes we see some stuff and we be like, okay. But I'm not going to stand there and let a man just beat the shit out of this woman just because of the verbiage out of her mouth. Now,
I mean, I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying. You don't see it, and that's the reason why majority.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you have some men that grew up in that atmosphere, no matter what. So that's what they know.
Their way of communicating.
And that's what they know.
That's what
they've seen it.
Like we spoke on.
You have women that have
that's their
grown
love
up.
language. You know what I'm saying?
They've been in that situation. They grew up in it, and that's what they know. So if they see their mama get beat down, some women still follow that pattern. Some women don't follow.
Or if they see their mama going off on the man.
They see the woman beating the man.
Right.
They follow that pattern. So it's actually, you know, it's sometimes it just be the background and how they grew up in it, you know, or if they didn't have their parent to teach them in the same aspect of it and talk to them and be like, hey baby, this just because I'm going through this, you don't have to, things of that nature. Yeah. They gonna think it's a pattern. They gonna repeat that pattern. They gonna think that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what love supposed to be.
Exactly. That's correct.
They grew up in it. They didn't know nothing.
Exactly. And
from the kids over
when you
they grew up in war.
Right.
So
they grew up in war. That's all.
And so
they knew.
When you say that, like when you think about that, like, is that a choice? No. That's an upbringing. That's all I know. That's all that was given. So, you know, and sometimes some people run and they find they have a good
child.
Not. It's not.
You can break the cycle. You can break the cycle.
With what?
People break cycles in their
some people can.
Some people are strong enough.
And some people are not.
Right.
So you got to look at it.
You have to think about it.
You're not lumping all in one.
Right. Some people have
You can't just ride them into that situation because they came up in it.
No. But that's what they know. That is correct. That's what they know. But you know what? The ones that actually do something and do something different, I think they have that competitive edge in them. Because in their head, you tell me I ain't shit, I'm going to show you that I'm more than shit. That's the difference.
Somebody along the way had to talk to them.
Exactly. It could have been a teacher. It could have been a principal. Somebody told them that this was not right in order for them to say, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going to go left instead of going right. Someone came into aspect and made that person have a different look at the choice that they're having. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a choice when a man have a side chick and he have a girl and these people don't know nothing about each other, but then women had choices.
They did. they had a choice. They sure did. They had a choice to be with a man that was not even correct.
But they didn't have that choice because he didn't give it to them. He didn't let them.
But
have
they
that choice.
had a choice. They had a choice to date Todd.
But he didn't tell them.
Yeah, he didn't tell them that.
If he didn't tell them, they didn't have no choice.
Same doggone thing when it comes to domestic violence.
Right.
Just keep it real.
I'm just letting you know that it's
Same
still
thing.
the same.
It's the same.
You can't give a choice.
If you don't know.
But he give her a choice with that first strike.
I am not playing with
You got a
you.
choice to stay or leave.
Not if it's already violence in the household. It's not that easy to
I'm
say.
here to tell you, if it's been done in front of people, it's not the first time. If it's being done in front of people, it's not the first time.
First time a person strike you, you can make a choice right there. If I'm gonna stay
You know
with
what?
you,
And sometimes
that's
the
physical.
choices put you in prison. How about that one?
Well, it's not even that. You're looking at the physical side of it. You're still on physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Physical,
a lot
like
of
I said, the physical wounds go away, but
Yeah.
the mental is always
Scars.
there before physical happens.
There's scars. I'm
When
telling you.
the mental takes over, and then that's when really the physical really comes to it.
Say that again.
You stayed there from the scars though. Because when he started talking to you crazy, you should address that.
Sometimes it's not just
And if
crazy.
you did address
See,
that,
It's not that black and white.
But it's not black and white. They might not even talk it
not.
like
Because
that.
you even stated yourself that you can say some things subtly and leave your woman thinking.
Question
So
mark.
that is the same thing that happens with the mental.
For real.
It's not always just that blatant in your face.
Calling you out your name.
Calling you out your name.
That.
You know, you got some people that really twist their words or whatever.
It's little
And if that person's self-esteem is already zero.
That's kindergarten.
let's
Does.
go on this thing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything said to you in which you don't like, and you do not address that, that's on you.
So you mean to say the women that you tell that stuff to, it's on them because they slow. So I'm with you mess with slow.
Yeah, because you mess with some slow motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you choose
Exactly.
to be picking because it's your choice to pick the slow motherfucker.
And we have got it heated. Okay. Yeah. 'Cause I almost love you, Smitty.
You a man.
I love
A big one. He gonna figure out who he talking to soon. He'll figure
What you
it
say?
out.
What you say?
What you say? We cut you off. What you say?
Hey,
Uh-huh.
just like the pastor say, it'll catch up with you Wednesday. Okay, if it catch up
3 nights later at a dinner.
You called me slow.
God.
my thing is, it still finally registered with you that you didn't like what XYZ said to you. It made you uncomfortable. Address that then.
But they're not gonna. Majority of people are not gonna address things.
Yeah.
Well, if they just not one of those conversational people.
Well,
that
you
don't
know-
address
All
it.
right. So let me
What if they really are too slow to know they need to address them? Some folks don't know if it is something.
For the person, for the
I see
woman
real me on this.
that didn't do anything about that,
Mhm.
whether it was physical, mental, or verbal abuse, do we supposed to have empathy for?
Are you saying empathy?
Yeah. He said, are we supposed to have empathy?
If you said that, what?
Yeah, because that's the first thing
Repeat
you give
it.
a person that you
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I empathize with
I
a lot of
can
people.
I can empathize to a certain extent. Now,
Yeah.
the ladies on this panel can tell you, mine go only so far. After so long, I turn into you, where I'm like, damn it, you need to walk the fuck away. Period. The end. You know. So, I mean,
I just want to see.
yeah, no, I mean, you can ask everybody on this panel with mine. I have empathy, but it goes so far. And then mine cuts off, and then you gonna see the back of my head too. So don't call me, don't wake me up at night.
I would have it.
That's just me. I'm sorry, but it is.
I would have it. like you said,
Yeah.
it just can't be the same old
Yeah,
song.
don't get calling me with the
And
same
don't call me after
thing.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm asleep. Leave me alone.
At 10 o'clock, if I'm asleep, you might get the other side.
Yeah, you gonna get abused from me.
I can't even. You know, it all fun and games right now.
Yeah, we have fun games.
But
ladies. We back to reality.
Be real talk, you know, because I was in that situation, so it's not certain parts you can laugh at now, and certain parts I'm not gonna laugh at it. I'm not. But what I would want to be, as we sit on this panel, is the one to say, you know, I do empathize with you, and when you see your opportunity, leave. Don't stay. Leave. And if this man calls you out your name, God, please, and he swing. Knock the fire out of him, since Smitty believes that it's just you should leave. So knock fire out of him and you leave. Even if it's sometimes we leave, and that's another thing. Sometimes when we leave, we're leaving kids because we gotta go. The kids may not be getting hit, but we are. You know what I'm saying? So those are other things to take in consideration with this topic. And of course, this topic is going to be for the rest of this month because there's a lot.
We have more.
There's a lot. We got a lot of more people.
And we do want you all to call in and join in.
Mm-hmm. The only domestic violence woman that I get mad at is the one that has kids. Because to me, you a cow. Because this nigga whooping your ass and you got kids, fucking kill it. But you supposed to protect them goddamn cubs. By all costs.
Yeah, protect the
Taking
kids.
ass whoopers in front of them is not protecting the motherfucking kids, man. That's the woman that I get mad at.
Yeah.
Because your first priority is to protect them goddamn cubs.
But what if
Understand what I'm saying?
but what if it just happened that first time it just happened? It just got completely out of control and boom. And guess what? When I tell you sometimes men use kids as pawns, they do. They do.
I mean, both sides.
I'm gonna tell
And
you.
sometimes they stay because of their children.
Again, I'm gonna say, I don't give a damn about these whole ass niggas that these kids as pawns too. Don't get me wrong, niggas do it too.
Right.
This is our gender based.
Right.
That is
Your
correct.
first motherfucking objective is to protect them cubs. They didn't have to be here, man.
That is correct.
So if that means your ass die or you got to kill him, that's what the fuck need to go on. I'm a firm believer in that. I ain't standing on it, and it might piss a woman
Then
off.
what
I
happens
really
to
don't
the
give a
children?
fuck.
But you know, on the woman
That's
side
what
of
you're
it,
supposed to do as a mama.
the woman side of it, she looking at she not going to prison because she don't who gonna take care of the kids.
Who?
Yeah, so you have
Well,
to
you
look.
need to get your ass gone somewhere then.
So they'll look at it that way.
Look at the
Where they going?
exactly.
Can they come stay with you, Mr. City?
Because, like I said, with the shelters being the way they are, and shelters do move you. Shelters do move you. If you did not know, they will move you from state to state. That's what they have to do. Don't get that twist. I never.
Just finna say they can put you in a whole other state.
But note to self,
You got to figure it out.
if the
but
there you go. If you,
It's
if
not
you,
just go ring the
let's
doorbell.
keep it real. If you beat my butt, if you beat my butt at 11:52, do you actually believe that I'm going to be able, when I'm running, intake is not there? That's all I'm saying. That's the majority thing. If you're running in the middle of the night, where do you go?
It can even be during the day.
It can be during
I
the
mean,
day.
they
If it's
might
no
have
space,
them
they
or-
don't have no space.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
This is my thing to eliminate all them excuses y'all feel.
No excuses. These are real life
This is real
situations.
choices.
If you, okay, it's real life situation. But you can't tell me as a woman, you can't figure out nothing you want to do in this world. Cause our mama had her own saying. A wet pussy and a empty pocketbook don't make no sense. So if you gotta do what you gotta do to get your babies out that situation,
So now you can down her being a prostitute, get beat up by her pimp.
I mean, you're damned if you do it, you're damned if you don't. But
wait a minute. Hold on. Let's just be
that's a different situation with your. You know what? I've heard that before, and that was not used in this situation. This is a completely different situation.
It's an end result.
So you feel like a woman pussy, she can go out there and sell pussy to anybody to get what she wants. Her pussy might not even be worth having to give out. Might be wore out because her husband done abused it to death, to beat her down. He done raped her because they can't get raped.
Exactly.
So you can, again, you went black and white.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But just to say, I'm in a bind, Nate. Shit. I'm in a bind, Nate.
You went black and white on it.
That's what you say. You gotta do what you gotta do to protect your kids. That's my thing.
Do you have people that will?
It ain't no rules. It ain't no rules in there when it comes to protecting kids. Ain't no G code, none of that shit. When you protecting your kid, I'm just talking about getting them babies out of this situation.
Easy said, easy done.
Exactly. It's not even the children in that situation. Most of it is just the women.
But your first priority is to save them babies.
Do you think most of them? Do you think most women that stay in it aren't considering their kids? I mean,
no, they're not considering them kids.
At all?
You whooping your ass, he'll whoop them kids too.
No,
not all the
time.
That's not true.
That is not true all the time.
That's not a true statement.
That is correct.
I didn't say he was. I said he could.
Could, yeah.
Like I said,
it's all this the women and hide the stuff from the kids and like they perfect dad.
And what if they are, they're the father? You know what I'm saying? And you trying to get away. First of all, we go back to the state rules and state laws. Whoever has the child at that particular moment. So she run off with the kids. He can call 911 all day long. But if she's not in a safe environment, he gets those children. It's crazy, ain't it? And we see it more and more prone now that men are actually getting full custody of their children.
Mm-hmm.
Because we as women...
Be technical about it. It's no different than when you want something from a dude. You know how to go about getting that shit. You set that shit up. You set the mood up. You put his ass in a position. You box his ass in. You got a trump card that you can use to get your way. Okay, you got to be methodical with your shit to get away. You ain't got to make it abrupt. But your first priority is to protect them damn cubs. So you can make all the excuses that you want. But when your ass wants something, you figure out how to get it. So you do the same thing to protect them kids. You figure out how to get you and them babies out of that situation.
You know what they do in that situation?
All the time.
They try to please that person and not make them mad.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
However, you gotta play that
and they still get beat.
Your ass and protect them kids.
Yeah, the ass whoopings don't stop.
And until okay, so this is the thing because I can't remember. Until it becomes someone close to you, and I think it's just closer. Let's keep it close. Sister, cousin, somebody tight flight security with you. Until you see that, I think there would be a different thought because. When you're thinking about getting away, your mind is like, if I don't leave right now. And when I tell you sometimes you're trying to get the kids and then all of a sudden now, oh no, oh you want to go? Oh, you can go. They're not going nowhere.
So
you can go.
My sister taking an ass whooping right now. You know what I'm saying? I whooped her husband one time, me and my brother. And like I told her, you go back, nigga, I'm done. Don't call me no fucking more. I'm not gonna keep getting into it with this dude because men get into it differently.
They do. Yeah,
I'm not
that's true.
Keep getting into it with this dude and he taking your ass back. That's crazy.
I mean, and
you just stay your ass back, take the ass whooping till you ready to go.
And of course, there goes when she can get out or when she ready to go. See that? I don't even know why she called you. She wasn't ready. I know one thing is for certain and for sure. My brothers, that will tell me if you ain't ready for Negro to die, do not call. They make it so clear. If you plan on laying with that Negro later on in the afternoon, don't make me come over there and slam you because you put me in this predicament. Because now you making, this ain't no longer about that woman. This is about your family looking bad. Because your brother can get locked up. All kinds of stuff can happen.
And you know what?
Exactly. I would never want to put my kids. I would never put anything on my brothers like that. Not that type of hardship. If I have to call my brothers, it's so you can watch me leave because I don't want what's going to happen to my back to happen while I'm packing my things. That's the only way I would call my siblings. The only way. And
But like I say, though, you got to be methodical, man. You know, if this nigga whooping your ass, you can't just up and leave.
Oh no.
Okay, you got to plan that shit.
Yeah, and you still get your ass whooped while you playing.
I mean, they still gonna be getting ass beat.
3 months later, you done saved about $2,000 so you can get away, but you still got your ass whooped for 3 more months.
Like, housewives
Okay,
need some
but
work.
that's better than 3
Especially
years.
the Caucasian ones.
They don't have no money.
They didn't have nothing, and everything goes through him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you gotta think of
That's
all the
one of
gentry.
problems with women right there. Now that's the biggest problem with women. They get with a man and they think that a man taking care of them is the lead.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand what comes with
That
that
control.
shit. But now you don't have a fucking skill set.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right.
That is correct.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
You're going for yourself. So now you got to become a babysitter or a bartender or some shit like that. Working at Walmart or some shit like that to get back on your feet. That ain't my fucking fault.
But see, I think that started with self-esteem and the lack thereof from the beginning.
Correct.
You know, before she ever even got with that man. It's like, what did she think her worth or value even was from the beginning?
And you know, some women just raised like
yeah,
that.
then you have the predators that play on that type of woman.
That is correct.
You know, so they go get the ding dong. You know, and
Yeah, that's the pimping. That's the pimping.
yeah,
right there.
exactly.
That's what the pimping come in.
Right, and that's what I said earlier about the pimp.
It's another control.
Yeah,
That's the pimp.
yeah, that's the control of it. I mean, because he weak. And like you said, a whole ass nigga, because he can't deal with the woman that has her own, wants to be on her own, stand together, and we work together with that shit. He want to control it. So, and then that woman is the type that want to let somebody control it. So,
And see, I have an aunt that's in a similar situation like that. Actually, I have 3. They're not abusive situations, but my aunts are so dependent.
mm-hmm.
Out of those 3 aunts, I think only one ever learned to drive.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, they don't drive.
Right.
And one in particular, which was probably one of my favorite aunts, this man basically tells her, oh, you don't need to take that medicine. So she won't take it.
Right.
She is that dependent, and it irks me to hear this. But, I mean, that's the life she chose.
Right, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Because the man was gone for a little while. He was out of the house for a little while.
Right.
And you let him come back.
Right.
Okay, so now this man he calls himself taking care of her, but I mean, some things that he does and says it will be questionable. It's not right, really.
Right.
But that's a situation she allowed herself to stay in.
Right.
Period.
So it's one.
When he left, she should have damn shit.
Change, lock the doors, address, whatever. But I mean, like you said, then in that case, you gotta love it, like it, because she's in it. So it's like, oh well, yeah, nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, I just want to leave I'm thank Mr. Smitty for coming on. Take about it.
This was good.
That was a good thing. We're gonna have more. I know a lot of people are gonna be want to talk to you, Mr. Smitty. So we will be having you back on
With a lot of questions because I thought I was on live for 52 seconds. Like I asked him this, but I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a lot.
But
you gave good insight though. I mean, and elaborated really well.
The thing it would be more of coming up would be how people know they are truly being abused, because a lot of people don't know they are being abused in that situation, and they are truly in that abusive situation. You know, some people don't know.
Any kind of way by somebody saying something or doing something, you check it. Just check it.
They can check it all day long, but they slow too. They probably don't realize they being abused. They might like, ooh, duh. You know, you got them duh.
I crazy.
I mean, I wasn't a dub-dub.
You had some.
Yeah.
You had some that go over their head. You got stuff that they can, like you said, they said in a clever way, but they being abused. You never know, you know. So I think that would be a good one of what are things that actually trigger, like we said, we talked about the triggers.
About women though, women are inquisitive. If a person say, that's just like that. If I use a vocabulary word that you might not understand, we can still be on this earth. You gonna turn to the person that's beside you and be like, "What this nigga say?" You know what I'm saying? You gonna ask about that shit.
I'm gonna need this water.
You know what I'm saying? So,
But that should be male and female, not just women.
right. It's not gender based. It's
Yeah.
not gender based at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what you gonna do though. You know what I'm saying? So even if a person is slow, it's gonna catch up to you sometime. You gonna ask somebody, or nowadays you got your phone. You gonna Google.
Yeah, Google, yeah. Paul Mooney said that nobody should be stupid
nobody
with
should be
Google.
stupid with Google.
But guess what? We still got some dummies out there, though.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we still have the slow.
Some people can't spell Google.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, we still got some slow motion, baby. Yeah, you are correct.
But I do appreciate you calling in. You know,
Oh, yeah. That's
So normally at the end of our segment, because our time is, coming through, we normally give a word of comfort or knowledge or just leave something for the audience. And so with that being said, since Smitty, you done pretty much controlled the facial expressions on this John today. I'm gonna let you start. You controlled all the facial expressions over here today, but you'll start and then.
I mean, if you're in a domestic situation, you gotta get yourself out of it, man. Don't be dumb and stay there and say, don't make no excuses for yourself. That's where it comes with the pity party. I gotta stay here for the kids, or I love it. Now, them just excuses, them just ways that you choosing to cope with it. Get yourself out of it. Plan your way out. You ain't got to be abrupt with it. If you already know that person is violent, be smart, but get yourself out of that situation, man.
all right. I agree.
Thank you. I can smile on that. How about you, Fancy Red?
There's nothing further for, as far as that. If you know you're being abused, if you're being hit, like he said earlier, if something is being said to you that you don't even like, and you question it, and you come to find, okay, yeah, that's abusive right there. Yeah, get out, leave, don't stay. Self-love is the best love. So if you don't love you, maybe that's why you staying.
Right. I'll piggyback off of that and say be true to yourself. Because if you don't know self first, then that's where you get lost in the fog. And everything else is lost with you. So like you said, Brother Smitty said, the Cubs is lost. Everybody just wandering in the woods. So know yourself first. Don't just jump into these relationships thinking this is the save all, end all, be all. Be true to yourself first. Yeah, exactly.
Know who you're dealing with, man.
Right. Stop just jumping into stuff.
If you want to know a real answer, put a person in a situation.
Right.
I really don't have too much to say on it because, like I said, I done seen stuff where it is hard to put it in black and white,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna be able to put it in black and white. People had to reach. I would rather for you to have a person that you can confide in, because in most of these situations they will take you away from your friends, your family, to keep you isolated, so you won't have that connection, that contact. But if you can find someone that you can talk to, call in. We are actually available too as well. If you just need that outlet, need that help, call us at 682. 208-0020. Talk to Quad, on the real scenario that we could try to help you figure out a plan, a way to get out of that situation. I'm not going to come boxing for you. I'm not going to do none of that for you. But we can give you the proper paperwork to start putting paper trails and get you somewhere to help you in that aspect. And you have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And I would just like to leave that though we were, we laughed and we made jokes, we do know that this is a serious situation. But of course, the first person you need to love is yourself. I'm never going to love anybody more than myself, even though sometimes we put our loved ones first. Remember to love yourself first. Without you, nothing else can be possible. You can't be a mom without you. You can't be a friend without you. Just remember yourself first. That's the first time I believe that a woman should be selfish, is when it comes to love. So love yourself first. And if you just need anybody, there's a whole bunch of hotlines out there, but no, we are here. We are really, really, really here. And this month, we're going to hopefully be able to talk to people who saw the signs and didn't even know they were the signs, just to help someone who could be in a situation. But at the end of the day, don't stay. That's all I want to say. At the end of the day, don't stay. There's someone out there. There's someone that you accidentally threw away that can help you. And with that being said, share and post and listen and everything that you do for us. We appreciate it, and subscribe. But at the end of the day,
don't forget to like and subscribe. Got any comments for other topics? You got questions? Put them down below.
And with that being said, let's do what we do best. Let's talk. Let's sip tea.
Bye.
Have a great one.